Welcome to this sixth part of this series, tutorial series. Now that we've seen how to implement the whole setup, how to translate the segments, then how to generate TTS with dynamic speed, then TTS also from segments. Now we need something which wraps up everything, a method like processing the whole steps. For this, we will use this method called dev process audio translation. We need the voice ID for this. Voice ID equals, for now, let's put it here, empty. Then we need also input segments. This is extractions and non-segments .json. Then we need translated output, which is the, of course, extractions. We need the translated segments.json. We also need the TTS output, which is extractions slash, we call this translated, translated audio. .mp3. We also need the source language, which is in our case English, then the target language, which is French, for instance, for example. This has been twice downloaded. We don't need that. So let's take this to remind you. We have these two methods, translate segments. First of all, this is a first crucial step, and we will use this as a first step. We will translate our segments, translate segments. We need here the input JSON path, input segments. We also need the source lang, which is source language defined in our arguments, and the target lang, which is the target language defined in our arguments. Then we need the TTS from segments. This takes, of course, generate TTS with dynamic speed also in consideration, since then we only call this method TTS from segments. For this, we need the segments path, which is the translated output. Then we need the voice ID, which is the voice ID. And also we need the output audio, which is the TTS output. All right. So what we then need, in this case, we of course need this. We will call this here, and for this, let me check if we don't need anything else. Actually, we've got our segments, and then the only missing thing is here in this case the voice ID. We didn't do anything towards the voice ID. So for now, we are about to choose a voice. To remind you, we couldn't manage to clone because of my subscription. It says that I've used 41 slots over 30, and I don't agree with their pricing since I have renewed my subscription. So this is another topic, but yeah, I will just for this demo or this tutorial use whatever voice. Let's, for example, choose this.
Le véritable voyage de découverte consiste non pas en ceux de chercher de nouveaux paysages, mais en avoir de nouveaux yeux.
All right, so I'm going to take this and then I will just simply copy the voice ID, go back to this one, and for sure then here I will just input it. I can use it even here directly, and yeah, I don't mind copying this since this is of course the same voice ID for everyone. So and now let's just jump right here and try this out. So this is an update of what's happening. You can see that our code is running. To remind you, I have made a mistake here, and this is actually related to which part where we actually have the target duration. And this, please note that this is end minus start and not otherwise, because if you do it, it will be negative, and if it calculates a negative target duration, it will set the speech speed at maximum speed because it thinks that this is not enough and it should accelerate to be shorter than the negative value. Now you can see that it switches between, this is one speed and this is actually also one. You can also see the difference, which is minimal between both target and actual speed. This is also good, and in between we have this so-called gap. And I hope we can find something above one right now. Otherwise, we can scroll up. This is, for example, an example of a speed of 1.2, and you can notice the difference. And this is while this is a little more than it should be, but yeah, overall this is fine. Maybe there is some exact calculation that should be made, but overall you can see that this is the target, the goal. And if, in my opinion, segment 77 yeah, so you can notice here, for example, no speed under 1.2 produced a short enough output using final attempt at speed 1.2. This means if actually we could have a speed of 1.3, that should be better, but since ElevenLabs doesn't provide the speed of 1.2, we are obliged to work with an actual speed a little more than the target. And this is of course not optimal, but let's see the translated audio in the end.
Alors, Bienvenue dans ce nouveau tutoriel. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous guider à travers les étapes afin de pouvoir simplement faire le bon choix. Configuration afin de traduire toute vidéo contenant de la parole à l'aide de l'IA. Donc, vous pouvez imaginer travailler avec quelques collègues sur un projet et vous avez...
So this is enough for the first 30 seconds. You can notice that there is a slight difference between in timing. Now what will happen? We will cut the audio, this audio file, and merge it with the sequences of the video. This will, of course, unfortunately affect some segments, and the real stake here is to play on both sides, either to reduce the text of the translated language or to find a way out of accelerating the speech speed of the spoken text. I mean the resulting speech. And another possibility is, of course, to play around the gaps, the silences, and see where eventually this little actual timing, how to play on these differences in order to avoid being longer than it should be. So this script is, of course, not final. I mean with that actually there should be more work that should be done. Like, for example, as I said, trying to play with the gaps, with the silences, and see if one segment has been longer in its translation than it should be. Eventually, we could try to use these silence gaps if they exist. Otherwise, trying also to reduce the translator text and trying to see if there is another possibility to accelerate the speech. For this part, I'm not going to make any further adjustment. The next step would be to see how to actually make this audio fit exactly into the video. This would include cutting segments of the audio. This relies, of course, on the timestamps provided by this segment, translated segments, which are in this JSON file. That's it for this part. Thank you so much. And if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to type them in the comment section below. In between, I hope that you subscribe to our channel. I will be more than happy to see you subscribe, comment, and share with your friends, and hit the like button. Thank you so much, and see you in the next part.